Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, now we continue on our third video for the chapter 2, which is 2.4 filtration system. The functions of filtration system, which is to filter predator or pest, suspended solid, and one of the common filtration system used is sand filters. Most surface waters contain fish and other organisms which may attack eggs and spawn in the hatchery. Some surface water is carry suspended solid which may coat eggs and clog the gills of the fish. Filtration of surface water can be accomplished by sand filter, which should filter out particles that are larger than 0.025 mm in size. This will remove most suspended solids, including eggs and parasite. After filtering, if the water is at a low elevation for use in hatchery by gravity, then it must be lifted to a storage reservoir overhead tank. The reservoir should have a capacity large enough to serve all hatchery needs for several hours. The reservoir can also be equipped with an auto water level guard that switch to automatically turn electric pump on and off at pre-selected levels. Alright, filtration system is used to filtrate or filter suspended solid or pests or predators such as the fish eggs from the wild, or any suspended solid maybe from the algae or soil, and also parasite. The most common one is the sand filter, that it can filter up to 0.025 mm in size and above. The smallest particles can be filtered out using another filtration unit. Right. If your filtered water cannot be used or delivered using gravity, then it must be stored at the overhead tank, which is overhead tank is located, is more higher from the tank in your hatchery. Then this overhead tank will supply the water by using gravity. It is important that your reservoir tank or overhead tank able to serve all the hatchery needs for several hours. So if your reservoir tank is quite small and is not able to supply the hatchery needs for several hours, then you may be facing difficulties, especially in water shortage. Alright, mechanical filter is functioning in removal of particle. The effective control of particle has an important influence for the fish health and stability of the biofilter. High level of particles in the water can give the following sequences for the fish and biofilter. For the fish, it will generate stress for the fish and thereby higher the risk of disease outbreak. The second one is it increase the risk of gill infections. For the biofilter, high level of particle will increase in the oxygen consumption in the system, and then it will increase the risk of clogging of the biofilter, and it also may reduce the biofilter ability for nitrification. So it's very important to remove out the particle first before it will be supplied to your system, or else it will affect your fish and also another component such as biofilter. Smoke system, I already asked you to find it in the previous video, what is smoke system. So I hope you can find it and understand it. The removal of particles consists of normally the nitrogens and phosphorus. The nitrogen content in the dissolved particle is around 80%, while the solid form is around 20%. For the phosphorus is approximately 30% will dissolve, while in solid state is around 70%. Most of these components can be found in the fish waste. The removal efficiency from the mechanical filter, the higher, the smallest or the finest mechanical filter will filter out more total phosphorus and total nitrogen, also suspended solid, up to 90%. The bigger or a big mechanical filter, a big size of mechanical filter will have lower efficiency. Okay, biological filter. This one is on the submerged filter. Biological filter is defined for the any filters that using biology or biology agent such as bacteria. Okay, this substrate is in rigid or solid form, where it will be submerged in the tank that filled with water. At this substrate, bacteria will live here and keep reproducing because of the high surface area. The advantages of submerged filter is the sedimentation of small particles in filters. It's also the sludge production in filter are removed due to black flushing. You can remove the sludge production and the sludge that that collected in filter by back flushing. The disadvantages is the low area of per cubic or specific area, which is only consists 200 meter cube per cubic. Rule of thumb: the retention time in biofilter should be between 10 to 20 minutes, while the water velocity through the biofilter is around 25 to 50 centimeter cube per minute. Alright, for the moving bag filters. Moving bag filter is the small substrate that being used together, either put in the tank or pond. Then the water will go throughout the water. This one is one of the example is that we have in the hatchery, the round ball. Alright, the advantage of the moving bag filter is it has higher specific area or surface, which about 600 meter cube per cubic, and have good aeration. While the disadvantages is it have more suspended solid in the water and also energy consuming. Rule of thumb: density of media should be 0.95 gram per cubic. Filling max rate around 60 to 70% of the total water. The maximum depth is around 3 meters, and the airflow is around 5 to 7 meter cubic per hour. Alright, trickling filters is a combination of biological filtration and also for the aeration and degassing. Biological filtration, where it can filter using biological agent. It can aerate for the increasing oxygen, and also degassing to remove any carbon dioxide or nitrogen gas. Trickling filters have advantages in double functions of biofilter and aeration in one system. They're also energy wise, as the cheapest way to aerate the water. Disadvantages is it has more solid in the water. It's not suspended, it's not filtered suspended solid. Rule of thumb: 25% of total biofilter should cover in the trickling filter. Hydraulic surface load is around 25 to 30 meter cube per cubic per hour. Height of trickling filter maximum is around 1 to 2 meter. Okay, trickling is a condition where you bagi ada air yang menitis ataupun memancung ke udara supaya boleh berlaku pertukaran gas CO2 kepada O2, dan juga pembebasan gas nitrogen di dalam air ke permukaan udara. Okay, pumps. There is varieties of pump that can be used in aquaculture. If I'm not mistaken, there is about 5 or 6 pumps that usually used in aquaculture. Right. So here I want you to list down usually used pumps in aquaculture. Right. So state or list down the pump that commonly used in the aquaculture, and then submit it through Telegram group or WhatsApp group. Alright. The for pumps, it should be supplied or attached to the electric supply for its for the operation. Sometimes it also can be attached to the DC unit, and most important thing is your pump should be fitted with the air filter. Okay, air filter is used to filter the air that going to enter the pump, so you will get a clean and air for the pond. Oxygenation. Alright, for the oxygenation, in super intensive or intensive culture unit, they will provide or inject with the pure oxygen to the system. This is to increase the oxygen level in the water. Most of the hatchery that using this system is I think this big scale hatchery as compared to the small scale and medium scale. Small scale and medium scale will not use this system, and they just only provide the oxygen through the air blower or air pump. UV treatment also only installed in the big scale hatchery, where its function is to treat the water by using UV, ultraviolet, which is mostly located either at the inlet or indoor, which is used for the recirculating aquaculture system, where once the water have been filtered out, then it will go to the UV treatment before it can be transferred back to the tank or pond. Alright, fish tank. There are various types in design and size and material that can be that were used to make a fish tank. It either can be located outdoor or indoor. Okay, for the shape, it can be round or rectangular or square, which is depend on your hatchery or your requirement. For the rectangular shape, they will try to avoid have very sharp edge. They try to cut or remove the sharp edge so that there will no accumulate of waste or fish at the edge of the tank. Okay, sometimes at the outdoor tanks they can provide cover or roof for the tank. So this to avoid direct sunlight or any disturbance from the outside, or maybe changes of environment. Right. Another thing is the dead fish collector. Dead fish collector is usually located at the end or outside of the fish tank. At this side, they will put the dead fish collector, where during the circulation of the water in the tank, the dead fish will be moved here or trapped over here. Then you can open the lid and remove the dead fish. usually only a small, not small, only a big tank or pond we're using this dead fish collector. Otherwise you have to manually collect the dead fish at the bottom of the pond. Emergency oxygen, which is very important, especially during the shortage of electric or blackout. So any generator that's set to functioning once the electric is cut off, they will focus on the oxygenation or aeration system. After once the electric have been recovered, so they will focus on the lighting and heating or cooling system. pH regulation. pH regulation is can be either you check it manually every day, morning and evening, or you can put automatic pH regulator that it can read the pH level, then regulate it by using chemical. Cooling and heating. Cooling and heating system normally will be used in the at the countries that have 4 seasons. If that time is summer, so they will be using cooling system where the water will be cooled down first before being supplied to the tank or pond. Meanwhile, during winter, the water will be heat up first before it being supplied to the pond or tank. This system or unit especially very costing if you try to culture out of season fish. Lebih-lebih lagi kalau you nak culture ikan yang sejuk pada musim panas dan ikan yang panas pada musim sejuk. Handling and grading. Handling and grading, this can be either manual or automatic. It can be done in the hatchery or outside of the hatchery. This is one of the machine that used to automatically grade the fish, and this one is how you manually grade the fish. Right, for fish handling and grading, you can grade the fish either based on the size or based on the weight. Sometimes they're also grading the fish based on the gender. It's either male or female. The handling of the fish should be done very fast or in short period of time, because you don't want to add a high stress level to the fish, as it may cause or affect your fish health. Broodstock system. Okay, for broodstock system, normally it can be either inside or outside of the hatchery. This is the example of the outside or outdoor system for broodstock. It can be either very large tank or very small tank with very depth or shallow tank, because it's depend on your system on cultured species. This is example of the half above and half under the ground of tank. This to provide a more, it's easy to maintain, as half of the tank is located above the ground, so you don't have to use it for any stairs to give a feed or anything. And besides that, it can lower the temperature of the water as is located or buried under the ground. This is example of the broodstock in the tank. Alright, now this one is, I want to find me what is the species. What species of the fish? Okay, sekali pandang pun dah tahu ikan apa, so I want you to find me what species is this fish. Alright, and this is another example of the indoor broodstock system using very large tank and put lots of broodstock over here. Okay, yang ni pun sekali pandang pun dah tahu ikan apa, kan. Okay, ni pun sama. What species of this fish? Alright. Okay, for another facility such as live feed facilities, incubation, hatchery, start feeding, and juvenile system. Okay, these facilities normally located indoor or in the hatchery. Live feed should be in the isolated or in another separate room. It should not be in open air, because you don't want to have any cross contamination to your live feed, or else it will be a big problem if your live feed is not able once the fry is spawn or hatch. This one I think is for the incubation, and for the start feeding unit. This is example for the juvenile system, and this is, if you know what kind of fish is this. Alright, for the on-growing system or grow out system, the tank should normally will be bigger and made out of cement or bricks, and because on the on-growing system or grow out system, you will culture the fish is more longer as compared to the juvenile system. So that's why juvenile system you only have a medium size of the tank. So you will capture for 5 weeks, and after that you will transfer it here for another 5 to 6 weeks before you can sell or transfer to the pond. This one on the sturgeon facility ongoing system. Right, for the sturgeon system or sturgeon facility, normally the pond or on ground system is not very high, or the depth is not very high, but in rectangular shape to provide large bottom surface area. This is because sturgeon is a bottom species, so they spend most of the time at the bottom of the pond or tank. So that's why we need large surface of bottom area. The depth is normally around 1 to 1.2 or 1.3 meters, with the height of tank around 1.5 up to 2 meters, something like that. Right, this is the juvenile. I think it's maybe up to the broodstock stage, or can be kept to be made to be kept as a broodstock. Okay, aquatic biomass by pyramid or food change, this thing I don't have to explain too much, because you already learn in aquatic subjects, if I'm not mistaken. Rantaian makanan, it start with the greens or hidupan yang boleh menghasilkan makanan sendiri, which is yang ada klorofil ataupun tumbuhan hijau, and then we consume by the zooplankton or small crustacean. Contohnya this one is Daphnia, Capipod, or apa lagi, or worm. Then it will be consumed by the small fish, and this small fish will be consumed by larger fish. And we here at the bottom, no, it's up here, it's not bottom, at the top here, as a main ataupun pemangsa utama, itulah manusia. Right, life cycle of salmon. I will just go very brief. Salmon, either this can be natural propagation or hatchery propagation. So the matured fish, male and female, either it being fertilized naturally or by human. If naturally, the female will be die after that. But for the same goes to the hatchery propagation, the female will be cut, the belly will be cut to obtain the eggs, Then after that being fertilized, the egg hatch in the stream and young fish live there until they are ready to mitigate. And for this smoke or salmon fry also will be transferred to the stream or main river. And as they go to the ocean, some must be past dams and must dodge any predator. Some of them may be being eaten by the predator. Then they will enter the ocean and survive until the up to mature stage. Then after that, adult fish will enter the rivers and move upstream toward spawning areas, and on that way they will climb ladders at dams. Once they have been ready to spawn, the body and the form will change as a indicator they are ready to spawn. So that this life cycle will continues until sampai kiamat lah kot, ataupun sehinggalah mereka pupus. Alright, so kurangkan makan sushi supaya salmon lebih selamat. Alright, this is the requirement for effective hatchery production. If I'm not mistaken, there are about 10 requirements for effective hatchery production. The first one is infrastructure. Hatcheries must be well designed and have adequate infrastructure, as these have an important impact on the quantity and quality of food larvae that being produced. Hatcheries should be designed to ensure good biosecurity, efficiency, cost effectiveness, and the implementation of the hatchery SOP. The second one is shrimp hatchery should consist of several units, where each having appropriate infrastructure. A well-designed shrimp hatchery will consist of separate facilities for quarantine, acclimatization, maturation, spawning, and hatching, larvae and nursery rearing, indoor and outdoor algae culture, and for the hatching of Artemia. Besides that, there also will be supporting infrastructure for the handling of water and feed, as well as maintaining area, packaging area for apply MPL, office, storeroom, and staff living quarters. Right. Selain daripada kita memerlukan satu infrastruktur yang sangat bagus, kita juga perlulah memastikan hatchery kita itu direka supaya ianya memenuhi segala biosecurity, efficiency, cost effectiveness, and also boleh menjalankan ataupun implement the SOP. Selain itu juga a well-designed hatchery sepatutnya mempunyai fasiliti yang terasing untuk quarantine, aklimatasi, maturation, spawning, hatching, untuk larvae stage, nursery stage, algae culture, hatching Artemia culture, and also supporting infrastructure. So sepatutnya a good hatchery should have this appropriate infrastructure. Without this appropriate infrastructure, then you will have facing a few problems that may lead to major problems due to lack of facilities. Right, here example for the indoor facilities ocean culture. Right, good hatchery design also should include the physical separation or isolation of different production facilities and effective perimeter security. Physical separation or isolation of different production facilities is a feature of group hatchery design and should be incorporated into a construction of new hatcheries. In existing hatcheries with known physical separation, effective isolation may also be achieved through the construction of barrier and implementation of process and product flow controls. The hatchery facility should have a wall or fence around the property with enough height to stop the entrance of animal and authorized persons. This will help to reduce the risk of pathogen introduced by this route as well as increase overall security. Right. Selain itu, the good hatchery design should have a separate or isolate facilities. Maksudnya setiap facility sepatutnya ada pembahagi ataupun ada bahagian-bahagiannya dan terpisah. If your hatchery is already there and you want to implement this physical separation, what you can do is you can construct a barrier, or you can implement a process and product flow control. So that means if you can properly arrange the hatchery, so you can have a very good physical facilitation and isolation. Kita tak nak ada cross contamination. Besides that, you also can make a fence or a wall throughout the facility, which is enough height to avoid any animals or unauthorized personnel to come to your hatchery. Kita tak nak ada memerang ke, ada apa-apa yang datang makan ikan kita. Kita juga tak nak ada orang luar yang datang yang boleh rosakkan hatchery kita ataupun boleh mengganggu proses hatchery. So that's why it's very important to have this physical separation ataupun ada pagar ataupun dinding. Alright, for Artemia hatching tank, I think you all already know this one and already DIY it at the hatchery for the AQU 137, so I don't have to explain this too much. Alright, the next one under infrastructure, point number 4, to minimize the possibility of infecting existing broodstock via the introduction of new animal, there should be a quarantine unit. Alright, quarantine unit is very important. The quarantine of all new animals to be introduced into the hatchery is an essential biosecurity measure. Before passing to the production system, the broodstock must be screened for subclinical levels of pathogen. Either you can use dot bloods or PCR or immunoblobs, and this broodstock that infected with serious untreatable disease should be destroyed immediately, and only animal that have negative result for pathogen will be introduced to the maturation unit. Right, bukan sahaja manusia bukan kita je yang kena quarantine untuk COVID-19. Orang-orang luar daripada overseas balik ke Malaysia, dia kena quarantine. Even for the broodstock itself, kita pun kena quarantine. Alright, sebab kita tak tahu haiwan-haiwan apa pun broodstock yang kita bawa daripada luar, yang kita nak bawa masuk ke dalam hatchery, is either is safe or not. So that's why kita screen for subclinical level sampailah pada PCR. Ingat COVID-19 je cover sampai, ataupun kita check sampai PCR level. Ikan pun sama. Right, and then after that, if any infected broodstock yang dijangkiti ataupun ada positif pathogen, so kita akan eliminate ataupun hapuskan dia. You should not discard them to the natural environment ataupun atau pergi mana-mana. It's either you akan hapuskan dia terus ataupun boleh buat makan. Itu je cara dia. Alright, sebab apa? Once you discard them to the natural environment, maybe that pathogen or disease that have in the broodstock will spray out at the natural environment. Then after that, you ambil lagi air dekat natural environment tu, masuk pump ke dalam you punya hatchery. What will happen? You are introducing a disease to your hatchery or farm. So that's why kita kena destroy immediately. Alright, this one is Artemia microscope. You already watch it and already know which one is unhatched egg, newly hatched, and all the Artemia shrimp. Alright, point number 2, water quality and treatment. For water quality and treatment, The water treatment system should be designed to provide high quality oceanic seawater or fresh water. Water for the hatchery should be filtered and treated to prevent entry of any vectors and any pathogens that may be present in the source water. Macam mana kita nak buat? So you may be achieved by filtering through subsand well point, sand filter is either gravity or pressure, or mesh bed filter into the first reservoir or settling tank. So cara dia, the first thing you boleh buat adalah you guna subsand well point ataupun sand filter ataupun mesh bed filter. Mesh bed filter is satu beg kain yang boleh memerangkap partikel sehingga 0.025 mm size. Right, it's just like the sand filter, cuma ia dalam bentuk kain. Then after that, you will transfer your water to the settling tank or reservoir tank. Settling tank normally used to settle down any suspended solid. Kalau masih ada fine suspended solid dekat settling tank, kita akan guna supaya all the suspended solid will be settled down. After that, you go to the primary disinfection by using chlorination. Lepas dah settle down apa semua, you akan pergi ke disinfection guna chlorine. Right, after a few days, the water will be filtered again using finer filter and then disinfected using UV or ozone. Right, macam saya beritahu tadi, UV you nak hapuskan sampai level dia punya cell level, supaya sel dia akan rosak dan dia tak boleh nak keep reproducing atau survive. That's the function of UV and ozone. Right, so your water now is clean, it's very clean. Then you will using activated carbon filters to increase the nutrient level in the water. Then the addition of EDTA, which is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Alright, find the functions of EDTA. Okay, find the functions of EDTA and explain it in the Telegram group. Besides that, temperature and salinity regulation may also be features of the water supply system. If in case you need to increase or decrease the temperature of your water, then you using cooling or heating unit before you transfer to the pond. And also, if you have any salinity regulation, you can adjust the salinity before being used in the hatchery. Right, this is the hatchery plan. Your hatchery should not be only consist of one building. It may come out of a few buildings that located nearby. Okay. Right, the second, for the water quality, water treatment. The design of water distribution system should take into account the level of biosecurity required by the individual area to which the water is distributed. Each functional unit of the hatchery system should have the appropriate water treatment and, where necessary, should be isolated from the water supply for other areas. Separate recirculation system may be used for part of the entire hatchery to reduce water usage and further enhance biosecurity, especially in high risk area. Alright. Selain daripada you ada very good and treated water, water distribution system juga penting, di mana you kena tahu macam mana you nak flow out your water throughout the hatchery. You nak tahu dekat mana inlet, dekat mana outlet. That one is the water distribution system. Besides that, you pun kena tahu macam mana you nak separatekan di antara kawasan yang high risk area dengan low risk area supaya water tidak bercampur. High risk area is just like quarantine areas, di mana you tak tahu apa yang ada dekat dalam air tu, kan? You quarantine ikan, you tak tahu penyakit apa lagi yang ada dekat dalam ikan tu sebelum you dapat buat PCR ataupun any subclinical test. So that's why quarantine area, any water flow out through the quarantine area should be treated alone and not be treated together with another pond. Right. The third one is all water discharge from the facility should be free of pathogen. Okay. Selain daripada you kena treat water untuk guna dekat dalam hatchery, air yang dah digunakan di dalam hatchery ataupun di kawasan di farm perlu dirawat dahulu sebelum you lepaskan ke perairan semula jadi ataupun you masukkan ke sungai. Right. All water discharge from the hatchery, particularly that known or suspect to be contaminated, should be held temporarily and treated with hypochlorite solution, more than 20 ppm of active chlorine for 60 minutes, and another effective disinfectant. This is particularly crucial where the water is to be discharged to the same location as the extraction point. Okay. Sebab apa? Kalau you nak lepaskan air ke perairan biasa, you akan berdepan dengan masalah kalau Department of Environment, DOE, Jabatan Alam Sekitar datang, check, dan you punya requirement untuk melepaskan air ke perairan biasa tidak lulus, then you have to hold your water in the farm until they are treated. Masalah akan datang bila you dah tak boleh menampung discharge water. Okay, bila you tak boleh nak menampung discharge water, you dah tak boleh nak keluarkan air daripada tangki masuk ke dalam discharge pond. Apa akan jadi? Your fish akan boleh mati sebab air tak boleh nak disalur keluar untuk masuk air baru. Okay, so that's why it's very important your water should be clean and treated before discharge to the natural environment. Sebab satu lagi adalah kita tak nak you lepaskan air yang ada penyakit ke perairan. Apabila you lepaskan air yang berpenyakit ke perairan, satu, ia akan menyebabkan penyakit kepada natural environment. Yang keduanya, nanti air itu akan masuk balik ke dalam hatchery dan you perlu merawat menggunakan kos yang lebih tinggi. Right, this is the general layout for the shrimp hatchery. It's quite same with the fish hatchery, which is this one is for the broodstock or spawning area, this one is for the nursing area, and this one for the juvenile area of packaging and all those things. Alright, so the concept is quite same with the fish hatchery. Alright, point number 3, biosecurity. A good biosecurity must be achieved as is paramount to the successful production of healthy PL. Biosecurity can be defined as sets of practice that will reduce the probability of a pathogen introduction and its subsequent spread from one place to another. Okay, konsep dia sangat senang, adalah satu amalan yang mana akan mengurangkan kemungkinan introduction of pathogen ataupun merebaknya daripada satu kawasan ke kawasan yang lain. That is the concept of ataupun definitions of biosecurity. The basic element of biosecurity program include the physical, chemical and biological methods necessary to protect the hatchery from the consequence of all disease that represent a high risk. So you can use either physical, chemical or biological methods untuk mengelak daripada your hatchery or farm infected or high risk of health disease. Right. The effective biosecurity require attention to a range of factors, some disease specific, some not, ranging from purely technical factors to aspect of management and economics. Various level and strategies for biosecurity may be employed depending on the hatchery facilities, the disease of concern and level of persist risk. The appropriate level of biosecurity to be applied will generally be a function of ease of implementation and cost relative to the impacts of disease on the production operation. Responsible hatchery operation must also consider the potential risk of disease introduction into the natural environment and its effect on the neighboring aquaculture operation and natural fauna. Selain daripada you buat practice this biosecurity, you also have a responsible where your hatchery operation should have minimum risk to the natural environment and also your neighboring aquaculture operation. Right, so that one is very important. You tak nak ada anything berspread kepada natural environment ataupun kepada neighboring aquaculture operation. Alright, this is example of the CP company at the Vietnam. Right, I always tell you about CP. What is CP? Find me what is CP. Right, what is CP? What is stand for? CP is one of the big company in Asia. They can producing feed, producing egg, producing chicken, producing fish, shrimp, all those things, right? And it's originally from Thailand, but also have branches in Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, in India, and I also think in China, something like that. Okay, so find me what is CP. Number 4, SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. SOP, the first one, each hatchery should have developed its own set of SOP. SOP is the outlining of control protocol for the hatchery that describe in comprehensive document that cover each stage or process of the production cycle. Right, SOP ini adalah satu protokol kan, yang didokumentasikan kan, pada semua peringkat kerja. Right, so every stage of workflow should have SOP. Sampailah ke yang paling simple sekalipun, macam mana you nak guna tangki pun you kena ada SOP. Right, the document should be include details of the all critical control points and describe how to perform each task to control the associated risk. Once the protocol for hatchery operation is documented, the SOP should be given to all personnel and a copy should be available for all workers in an accessible place. A meeting should be held to introduce the protocol and explain the need for and content of the SOP. This is a good opportunity to clearly identify and explain any point that generate doubts or that may be misinterpreted and to get practical input from the hatchery staff. Right, so once the SOP has been documented, it should be explained or introduced to the staff or personnel. Alright, then a copy of this SOP should be put or available for all the workers in an accessible place. Right, so sangat pentingnya selain you dah dokumentkan satu, you kena explain dekat you punya staff dan bagikan satu salinan dekat kawasan yang mudah didapati supaya semua staff boleh memahami SOP ataupun corak kerja yang perlu dilakukan. Alright, as new information becomes available, it will be necessary to update or modify the SOP and any changes must be communicated to all personnel. Kalau ada a new information regarding the SOP that have been made, so you have to re-alert or any changes should be notified to all the personnel. All workers should sign this document indicating that they have read and understood the SOP and that they will comply with the all requirements. So it's stated here that instead of you only provide them and telling them about the SOP, they also sign a document that indicating they have read and fully understand of the SOP. If they have any question, they can ask again and before that signing the document. This document is very important so that if there is anything happening at your hatchery, so you can use this document that indicating that safety measurement have been taken and it should be followed by all the personnel. Alright, the next one is training and the biosecurity maintenance should be an important component of the hatchery process. And besides you telling them and giving them the document and ask them to sign and read all the SOP, you also giving them a training in the biosecurity maintenance, such as the handling of the flammable what we call it, substance or any flammable chemicals. So instead of only telling them and ask them to read the SOP, you're also giving them a training so they can handle all the procedure precisely. Right. The biosecurity risk posed by each area of hatchery should be determined. The different areas of the hatchery may be classified according to the level of risk of disease, introduction or transfer. One of the researchers used this system to describe the 4 classification, which is quarantine area that where a pathogen of concern is potentially present or suspected, or high sensitivity area that potential pathogen may be introduced or transferred, medium sensitivity areas and low sensitivity areas. Right. This 4 classification is regarding on the first quarantine area that may be pathogen is potentially present or suspected. After that, a very high sensitivity area, medium sensitivity area and low sensitivity area. Right. So these 4 classification used in the biosecurity risk assessment. So kita boleh tentukan dekat mana level biosecurity yang paling tinggi dan mana yang paling rendah. Selain itu, di mana kemungkinan this pathogen introduced. Alright. So that's why is classified into 4 classification. Quarantine area ni mungkin daripada kawasan quarantine area for the broodstock. High sensitivity area mungkin di kawasan spawning ataupun kawasan hatch egg ataupun ikan yang baru menetas. Medium sensitivity mungkin di kawasan juvenile fish ataupun juvenile child. Right. So dia dah medium sensitivity. Low sensitivity mungkin di kawasan maintenance area or blower area, something like that. Right. Alright. Next, number 5, HACCP approach, hazard analysis, critical control point. HACCP is the development and implementation of biosecurity protocol will be made easier by approach of HACCP. HACCP is an approach of the preventive risk management system that based on her hazard analysis and have been widely used to identify and control risk to human health in food processing system. Ianya adalah satu preventive risk management system. Maksudnya kita satu risk management dalam bahasa Melayu apa? Pengurusan risiko. Sistem pengurusan preventif is menghalang. Menghalang. Sistem menghalang pengurusan risiko. Something like that lah kot. Okay, preventive risk management system maksudnya kalau ada CCP or critical control points, kita akan cari jalan penyelesaian ataupun cara untuk menghalang daripada berlakunya hazard tersebut. Okay, that one is the hazard analysis critical control point. So you analysis any critical control point supaya ia tidak menjadi bahaya. Critical limits are set at critical control points in the system where control must be applied to prevent, eliminate or reduce of hazard. Okay, so you kena cari critical control point dia supaya you boleh prevent, eliminate or reduce the hazard. HACCP practicals and principles have been applied as a risk management tool to control viral pathogen at Shrimp research and production facilities, as stated by one of the researcher in 2001. Right. HACCP analysis should also be applied to shrimp production with particular emphasis to reducing or preventing disease risk. Selain daripada food safety management, HACCP juga boleh digunakan untuk ke dalam shrimp production, di mana kita boleh emphasize atau mengurangkan ataupun menghalang risiko penyakit. Maximum biosecurity in shrimp production facilities can be achieved through the isolation of breeding, hatchery and production phase. Macam sebelum ni saya kata kita kena isolate breeding section, hatchery section, production section, juvenile section supaya tak berlakunya cross contamination. Good facility design with high degree of isolation can help to reduce the risk of transfer of pathogen from broodstock to their offspring. The CCP identified for the maturation and hatchery stage of shrimp production are the shrimp, the feeds and the water. Okay. So dekat sini kalau dekat bahagian shrimp production, kita boleh katakan shrimp, feeds dan water adalah CCP dia, critical control point dia. So tiga tempat ni macam mana kita nak control dia adalah kita will be cover implement of SOP and HACCP of disease vector, facilities and equipment. Okay, sekarang ni kita dah tahu ada 3 CCP ataupun critical control point dekat shrimp production. So macam mana kita akan implement dia dengan SOP untuk mengelakkan berlakunya sebarang hazard. Next, a flow diagram should be created for the hatchery facility detailing all operation and movement of shrimp and larvae through the production system. For each operation, from broodstock, receipt through maturation, larva rearing, and nursery, all the potential hazard, impact on larva health and quality, and point of entry of pathogen should be identified. Okay, kita akan buat satu flow diagram yang merangkumi segala maklumat berkenaan dengan operasi dan juga pergerakan udang dan larvae sepanjang production system. So dari situ kita boleh tahu di mana point of entry of pathogen that should be covered. Alright. Following this systematic hazard analysis, CCP should be identified. For each CCP, critical limit must be established, and where these limits are exceeded, appropriate corrective action determined. A system to monitor the CCP must be established along with a good system of documentation and recording. Okay, once kita dah tahu dekat mana CCP ni, apa yang kita perlu buat adalah kita kena ambil langkah yang terbaik, dan di mana every CCP will be documented and recorded with a good documentation or good system. Right, number 6, restriction of hatchery workers. Hatchery workers must be restricted to their specific area of work. Maksudnya dekat sini, setiap pekerja di hatchery should be allocated to each section ataupun specific section saja. Kalau you ada worker sebanyak 6 orang, so 6 orang ni dia tak boleh bekerja untuk semua kawasan. Dia kena bekerja on the specific areas. The first person should be at the position A. Second person should be in the position B, and go on. So daripada situ kita boleh mengurangkan cross contamination between workers. Mungkin workers ni dia ada bawa pathogen or any disease from one section to another section. One of the way is by using different color uniform for each area. So kalau you tengok dekat section A using red t-shirt, section B using yellow t-shirt, so you will know if your workers is cross section or not. Alright. Number 7, communication system. Communication system is very important, especially when you working in the very large or big hatchery. You ada dekat broodstock section, you nak bercakap dengan orang di bahagian lab. So macam mana? Right. You may be using the intercom system, radio, stat messaging, mobile phone, or local area network for computer system, ataupun you boleh call guna mobile phones. Alright. Itu adalah cara untuk communication. The SOP should address risk due to staff whose duties require them to pass through areas of the hatchery with different biosecurity classification. Okay, maksudnya kita tak nak adanya staff melalui a few section hanya untuk berkomunikasi. So either they using walkie-talkie, right, ataupun boleh guna mobile phone untuk communicate. So you don't have to cross every section just to talk to each other. Unless dah waktu rehat, waktu balik, you nak pergi mana pun, nak duduk sama buang apa semua, pergilah. Alright. Number 8, all staff must take adequate sanitary precaution when entering and leaving a production unit. Okay, semua staff kena mengamalkan langkah-langkah sanitari yang terbaik, sama ada semasa masuk ataupun keluar daripada production unit. Contohnya macam apa? Using of the rubber boots when in the production areas, and that rubber boots must be specified for that area only. Once you leave the certain area, then you have to leave the rubber boot over there. The second one is the production unit must have one entrance or exit to avoid unnecessary through traffic. Okay, dalam satu-satu production unit, contoh kata hatchery, you cuma ada satu pintu masuk, satu pintu keluar sahaja. Sebab apa? Sebab kita tak nak adanya orang boleh keluar masuk ikut sesuka hati. So by using this method, you boleh control ataupun boleh measure siapa yang keluar masuk to the production unit. The third one, the entrance must have a foot bath with a solution of calcium or sodium hypochlorite with the concentration of 50 ppm. Alright. Kita nak masuk ke sesuatu kawasan pun, dia akan ada satu foot bath. Foot bath ni adalah you akan masuk ke dalam satu kawasan yang mempunyai air, di mana you kena celup kaki dalam tu or your rubber boots before entering or leaving the facilities. This disinfection solution must be replaced when necessary. Okay, next to the entrance door, each room must have a bowl with a solution of povidone iodine or 70% alcohol. Ingat kita je ke nak kena guna hand sanitizer dekat luar ni. Even you dekat dalam hatchery pun, you still lagi kena guna hand sanitizer. Sebab kita tahu tangan kita ni ada membawa apa-apa disease or pathogens. Okay, so even tangan pun nak kena cuci elok-elok dengan povidone iodine ataupun alkohol. Number 9, special care must be taken with vehicle because they may have visited other hatchery or shrimp farm. Okay, yang tadi kita sahaja, sekarang ni adalah kenderaan. Kenderaan yang digunakan oleh farm is maybe from the another shrimp farm or fish farm ataupun daripada unknown areas. Okay, so this vehicle may be bring back disease or other things that attach to their tires. Right. So macam mana? Tadi kita guna foot bath untuk celup kaki kita. This one is a wheel bath that fill with the effective disinfectant solution such as sodium or calcium hypochlorite, which more concentrated, which is more than 100 ppm of active ingredient. Even tayar kenderaan pun nak kena sanitize juga. Itu adalah biosafety punya level at a certain farm of hatcheries. Right, number 10. The entry of potential disease vector into hatchery facility must be controlled. Okay, mana-mana kemungkinan pintu masuk untuk disease ataupun vectors ke dalam hatchery juga mesti dikontrol. Contohnya melalui haiwan-haiwan lain, such as insect or birds, because some shrimp virus are found in a insect or birds. Insect or birds ni dia sebenarnya adalah intermediate host. Snails seperti siput, ianya adalah intermediate host kepada disease, di mana diorang ni akan bawa disease ni kemudian masuk ke dalam hatchery kita. Seperti burung dia dah pergi terbang merata-rata, dah pijak ke merata tempat. So kaki dia tu ataupun sayap dia, badan dia, bulu dia mungkin ada disease ataupun pathogen yang melekat, kan? Dia pun dah makan macam-macam dekat luar. So apa yang dia makan tu dia berok balik dekat dalam hatchery kita. So itu pun as a intermediate host. Right, so that's why kita tak nak ada any insects or birds or any animals yang boleh jadi intermediate host masuk ke dalam kita punya hatchery. Right. While it is not possible to control all potential animal vectors, their entry can be minimized by use of physical barriers such as fencing, wire nets or mesh can be used to exclude birds and insects. Okay, kalau kita tak boleh nak control, so macam mana adalah kita kena minimizekan dia dengan cara kita buat pagar ataupun pasang jaring. So kita boleh halang daripada siput ataupun ketam ataupun burung, biawak memerang masuk dalam hatchery kita. Aquatic animal can be excluded by ensuring that there are no direct means of entry from open water source, especially via inlet pipes and drainage channel. Right. All the entering the facility should filter and disinfected, and all drainage channels should be screened or covered where possible to prevent the entry or establishment of wild aquatic animals. Okay, selain daripada tu, kita juga tak nak ada any aquatic animals yang boleh masuk ke dalam kita punya hatchery melalui inlet ataupun drainage channel. So macam mana kita kena letak filter or disinfection ataupun kita kena screen atau cover kita punya drainage ataupun inlet kita supaya any ada aquatic animals tak boleh masuk. Seperti contoh kata telur ikan ke, anak ketam ke, kerang-kerangan ke yang boleh masuk ke dalam kita punya water storage system. Right. 2.6 critical control points. Critical control points must be identified for each area. For different areas such as quarantine, maturation, hatchery, agriculture, animal production, this is necessary to identify critical control points. The following stages can be considered as CCP, although they this may not be the only ones, and they can vary from one location to another. Okay, this is examples for the critical control point. The first one is facility entrance. Control at entrance for operational workers, administrative employee, vehicle and other disease vector to prevent transfer of infection from other hatcheries and the environment at large. Okay. Dekat facility entrance, kita control siapa yang boleh masuk dan siapa yang tak boleh masuk. Only operational workers and administrative employees, vehicles yang boleh masuk. Selain daripada itu tak dibenarkan masuk, kita bimbang akan berlakunya transfer of disease. Water treatment. All the water used in production unit must be appropriately treated to kill pathogen and their host. So kita tahu critical point dia adalah water treatment ataupun source of water kita. So macam mana kita kena treat dia? By using chlorine, ozone or filtration. Maturation, quarantine of incoming broodstock, check-in and disinfection of fresh feed, cleaning of tank and water and air lines, and disinfection of broodstock is supply and equipment. Okay. Untuk maturation stage, mungkin kita boleh quarantine of incoming broodstock. Kita kena quarantine dia, tengok ada penyakit ke tidak. Checking and disinfection of fresh feed, kan. Contoh kata kita guna ikan untuk bagi makan dekat broodstock kita. So ikan tu sendiri pun kita kena check sama ada penyakit atau tidak. Okay, that one is one of the control measurement. Hatchery, regular dry out period, cleaning and disinfection of building, tanks, filter, water and air lines and equipment, control, quality control and disinfection of fresh feed, separation of working material for each room and each tank. Okay, dekat hatchery pun kita boleh apply a few methods untuk macam mana ianya selamat. Contohnya regular dry out period, di mana sesuatu period kita perlu pastikan hatchery kita adalah kering. Separation of working material for each room and each tank. So kita tak boleh guna materials yang sama untuk semua tangki atau kolam. Kalaulah ada satu kolam yang berpenyakit, kita guna dekat sini, kita transfer pergi dekat lain, macam mana another pond akan terjangkit. Alright, algae room, restricted entrance of personnel to algae laboratory and tank facilities, equipment, water and air disinfection, sanitation and quality control of algae and chemical use. Untuk kawasan algae mungkin kita boleh restricted entrance for of the personnel, maksudnya orang-orang yang berkaitan sahaja yang dibenarkan untuk masuk. For Artemia, kita boleh buat sis disinfection, now apply disinfection, tank and equipment cleaning and sanitation. This one you already know and you already done it. Number 7, restriction of entrance to the hatchery in general and each area in particular to authorized personnel. Maksudnya dekat sini kita hanya benarkan mereka yang bertugas sahaja untuk masuk ke kawasan hatchery. All staff and administrative personnel entering the production area must comply with the procedure in the SOP. Kalau ada staff lain ataupun orang admin nak masuk, dia kena ikut SOP yang telah ditetapkan. Dia orang tak boleh masuk cuba macam tu je. Alright, I think that's all for you. There's a few questions during this video, and I hope you can answer it all and submit it to the Telegram. Alright, thank you so much and see you soon.